All right, let's begin. So could you tell me your full name, please?
Hello, my name is Im Chan-ho. My family name is Im, which is written as R-H-I-M, Rim, but I read it Im in Korean.
Okay. And are you working or are you a student?
I am a student in Korea University, and I am a junior student, currently in a vacation right now, but I'm looking for a senior student.
And what do you like to do in your free time?
In my free time, I have a lot of things I love to do. First would be working out in the gym, because I started working out when I was in military, and it became my habit, so I'm still working out these days today. Also, I love to listen to music, because I'm a very big music fan. So in my free time, the best would be like listening to music and working out in the same time.
Great. Now let's talk about spending time by yourself. So do you usually spend time by yourself?
Well, it depends. I prefer spending time myself because it kind of gives me time to chill out and focus on what I'm doing, whether it's working or just chilling. But sometimes I would like to be with friends or my family when I do something else, like when I watch movie, then it would be better to be with someone else.
And how do you usually spend time by yourself?
How do you mean, how do I?
Yes.
When I'm alone, I kind of read books, whether it's a comic book or just literature that's interesting to me. And as I said before, I love listening to music, so I sometimes dig into some other musics that I've never tried before. So these days I'm taking advantage of the music apps these days, which they keep preferring me some new musics. So that's how I spend time alone.
And what did you do the last time you were by yourself?
Last time when I was myself was actually yesterday, and the weather was so hot yesterday, so I was in my room with air condition on, and I actually had a video chat with my friend because that friend lives abroad. So I spent time talking to her with video chat. So that's kind of one of the things I do alone, but I can still keep in touch with others.
Sure. Okay, now let's talk about small businesses. So do you know many small businesses in your area?
That's interesting because in my area, it's kind of financial place. So small places would be like coffee chains, not coffee chains, coffee stands that sells about iced Americanos, which the finance men love. And sometimes I go there and buy some decent, cheap coffee. And that's one of my favorites, small businesses in my town.
Yes. And do you prefer buying things from big companies or small businesses?
Speaking of that, I prefer buying stuff on big companies rather than small companies. I mean, it's different with coffee because coffee you can just taste it right away. But if I am thinking that I am buying furniture, for instance, then it will be better to then the credibility of the company will be high if the company is big and well known rather than small companies.
Yes. And have you ever worked in a small business?
Actually, yes, I have worked in small business. It was also a small shop where it is a convenience store actually for some workers in the certain company. So I was kind of a worker in a small company in a big company. So when I used to work there, the employees of the big company used to come to our store and buy some stuff there.
Great. And have you ever thought about starting your own business?
Yes, I thought about doing that. And actually, as my major is English education, I'm thinking of opening up my own business as an English education company where I can publish books or take YouTube videos and things and publish them.
Okay, great. Okay, that'll do us for part 1. Now let's go on to part 2 of the test.
All right.
I'll give you your question. It's over here. So So there you go, sir. And there's a pencil. All right. So I'll give you 1 minute now to do some note taking. All right. So yeah, you can begin. All right, mate. That's 1 minute now. Okay. All right. So for your part 2 question, could you describe a movie you watched recently and would like to watch again?
Okay. Recently, I've not watched that much movie before, but recently I watched Florida Project, which is a movie about social issues such as poverty, family, and like social systems that surrounds the United States. And so it was about of this family that they kind of they don't have much money, so because the mother have lost her husband because the husband abandoned them. Like, so there's a single mother who raises her child, but she doesn't have a regular job. So what she does is that she sells stuff illegally in front of Disney World in Florida, and so that was what the movie is about. And I watched on Netflix. And that's the reason why I would like to watch again is because the movie is very interesting in terms of the camera and the story, which is very different. Because the story itself is very depressing and kind of speaks about social issues, while the camera shows very colorful world to deepen the sadness of the family's situation.
Okay. Okay, great. So that's about 1 minute and 20 seconds. All right. And do you think this movie is popular in your country?
Not very much in my country because I've never met another person that watched the same movie as me. But yeah, if I would like, if I meet, then I would like to talk about the movie because it's a very good movie.
Okay, nice one. Okay, so now we'll go on to the third part of the test. Okay, so let's keep it going. Okay, so where do people normally watch movies?
Speaking of normally, it's kind of became different these days, especially. Back then, it was all definitely theaters, but I think it is kind of half and half with theater and at home, because there are a lot of platforms you can watch at home. As I mentioned, Netflix is one of them, and I think theaters have become kind of special incidents, such as dating or having fun with friends or family. So other than that, I think people prefer watching movies at home because they're cheap and you don't have to go out. And yes.
Are there any disadvantages to watching movies at home?
That I can speak very well because I've experienced a lot of disadvantages, such as I cannot concentrate on the movie for about 2 hours straight because I can always stop, pause, and go to bathroom, go grab a coffee or things. Yeah, so it's kind of one of the disadvantages, but still I prefer doing that.
Yes, yes. And do you think are actors or actresses important to movies?
Yes, I do, because actors and actresses have always been the main characters of a movie, and as movie is a video art, if so to say, then they can be the artists who can act the director's intentions or the theme of the whole movie. So I think that is why one of the reasons people or critics usually keep focused on the actors or actresses' ability of their acting or their emotions, expressions.
Yes, yes. And which do you think is more important, the plot of a story or the special effects?
It depends on movies, I think. If the movie is about the things that we cannot usually see, such as like aliens or the things that don't exist normally, then special effects will be very important. So the movie industry should invest more money on that. However, if the director's intention is to say things that we can normally see, such as the movie I mentioned before, the Florida Project, then the plot will be very important so that we can keep focused on the movie.
Yes, yes. And why do you think people of different ages enjoy different types of movies?
Yes, I I have known that people in different ages prefer different movies because they have different tastes of culture, I think. Younger generations probably have experienced, they're more likely to have experienced a lot of other cultures outside their country. So they have experienced a lot of diversity of cultures. So they would prefer more different styles such as Hollywood style or other European styles or Korean styles. However, older generations are more likely to have experienced limited access to other cultures. So they might prefer older versions of Korean movies or some limited types of Hollywood movies.
Yes, yes. And are there any movies that are enjoyed by people of all ages?
Yes, I think that is one would be the family movies because everyone once have been a child before. Every person has their childhood experience, and back in childhood, they can watch family movies such as Disney, Pixar. That would be very big type of the childhood family movies.
And do you think movies are mainly for entertainment or for education?
In these days of movie industry, I think it is more focused on entertainment rather than education. Of course, there are some educational movies, but I think they are minorities in the whole movie industry because every articles of movie, if you see, then you can see what they all say about is the revenue or box office tickets. So yes, I think they're more focused on entertainment and making people fun so that they can earn money. And yeah, that is why.
Okay, perfect. That'll do us for the test. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right. So yeah, let's talk about the feedback part of the test. Yeah. So again, really good. Your strengths are obviously your fluency, pronunciation. Yeah, there's very little hesitation, and pronunciation is pretty on point the whole way, right? Probably the one thing that could be improved is the grammar, especially some like prepositions, articles, and plurals. All right, if we talk about that. In terms of prepositions, if we look at a couple, at the beginning you said like I'm in vacation right now. Should be on vacation. Oh. Yeah, these days I'm on vacation, right? When we talked about music, you were saying like listen music. Just make sure you pronounce the listen to. Okay. So yeah, I always listen to music. I'm on vacation right now. Buying stuff on big companies should be buying stuff in big companies. All right. So there's a few there with prepositions. In terms of plurals, just make sure music is uncountable noun. So instead of saying other musics, saying other types of music, yeah, or other genres of music, you could say that. You said as well, when I was in military, we usually say in the military, yeah. Or you could also say when I was doing my military service, that could also work as well, if it was just a temporary one, yes. Yeah, when I was doing my military service. In terms of a couple of expressions, you said one time like I'm taking advantage of music applications. I probably wouldn't use that expression. I would just say I'm using music applications, or I use them. Okay. Taking advantage of is more like if an opportunity presented itself, you know, like for example, imagine you live right next door to a golf course. So I'm taking advantage of that. I go golfing every day. Yeah.
Access provided.
Yeah, it's more like an opportunity that was given to you. A couple of times as well, mate, you use that speaking of, right? Speaking of. I don't think that's really appropriate for the IELTS test. Speaking of is more like if we're having a conversation and I mention NBA and you could say, speaking of sport, and change the topic to something else. So probably when you get asked a direct question, I probably wouldn't use it. Yeah, it's a good term in other ways, but maybe not during the test. What else have we got? As well with grammar, one time you were saying theaters have became. It should be have become. So it's become, became, become again, the third one. So theaters have become like special places for dates and whatever. And last one as well, when we talked about, you're saying it depends. When you said it depends on movies, it's better to say it depends on the movie. So it depends on the and singular noun. So it depends on the season, it depends on the movie, depends on the person. More common, all right. And yeah, part 2 you spoke for like 120. You know, you could like try and maybe develop the last point a little bit more if you can. Yeah. But that was a good test overall. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Cheers.